Yo, RX back for the first time in 2025 with another breakdown of UFC Vegas 101 Dern versus Hebos 2. Oh boy, we back for the first time in 2025, or for video 2025, even though it does feel like I just put out a video, because I did right at the end of 2024, but now it's time to get back into the swing of things. We got 50-something cards to break down and recap, and we have to start at the beginning in January with a fight night in the Apex. Fuck! It's good to be back. I'm happy to be back. I hope y'all, I'm not gonna say missed me, because I know that's not true. Hope y'all remembered I even have a channel, because I fucking barely remember. Yeah, in the new year, same videos, same breakdowns, same recaps. Hope you enjoy them. Some dipshit rambling about fights for an hour plus. What are there not to love? I don't know. I'm excited for 2025. This year, I have a good feeling about this year. Not in the UFC. The UFC is a fucking shit show. But fucking awful. But for this channel, I have a good feeling about the year. And just like last year, the goal by the end of the year, 100 subs. We're at 70. Some dickhead unsubscribed after my last video. Fuck you. So now we are 30 away instead of 29. We can do it. We can hit 100. I doubt it. But, you know. Gotta be wishful, right? You know, how much does that work with the UFC? We are wishful they'll make a good card, and that never fucking happens. So. Yeah, they wishful thinking is bullshit, but that's a different story. UFC Vegas 101. Yeah, we actually do have to talk about this. I wish I could just talk about 2025 and all that for an hour, but I can't. I could, but I don't want to. To move on from all the Happy New Year shit, because again, Happy New Year, hope you all had a great New Year's, and now we gotta watch some shitty fights. Definitely make my New Year's a little worse, but you know, still. UFC Vegas 101, this card's shit. The best way I can think to describe it, they just made a bunch of prelims. They just made a card full of prelims. There's maybe two fights I could say are really main card level fights. Like, they just made, and then the main event's not one of them. That fight's fucking garbage. They literally just made a fucking card of prelims, which is sad that we've stooped to this fucking level at this point, that this is just a card of prelims. So, which is not saying it's a terrible thing. Prelims could be good, but, like, they're not, like, most of them are not even that great at prelims. A lot of debuting fighters, which is cool. We did have Contender Series last year, so a lot of those fighters are debuting on this card. But it's like, first card of the year, why is this not 311? You should end the year with a pay-per-view, you should start the year with a pay-per-view. Last year should have ended with 310. This card right now I'm talking about to be in the year should be 311, which is next week, and I can't wait. But that should be this week to begin the year. This garbage should be next week, so we could just fucking forget about it entirely. Like, I don't even want to acknowledge this card as the first card of the year. We really fucking shouldn't. We're gonna watch it still no matter what, because we're fucking psychopaths. But, like, this is fucking dreadful. Maybe the card will be good. Like, on paper it's shit. Maybe it'll be good. We've seen these random Apex cards good before. Jandaroba Lemos came to mind. Fucking, Jared Cannonier and Kyle Borrello was a great Apex card. Neil Magny and Carlos Prates was a great card. But it's so few and far between, it's not even funny, man. So, knock on all the wood you can fucking find. This card over fucking achieves and is actually decent. But man, I'm doubtful, man. The main event's gonna suck no matter what, so we just gotta rely on everything under it, which we had 13 more fights outside of that, so oh joy. So, I don't know. If you can't tell, I'm very excited to be back. I'm just not excited for this card, so But we gotta break it down. I broke down every garbage card last year, and I'm gonna do it again this year. I think this is my 4th or 5th year of doing this shit. I started, my first video was UFC, I believe, 265, Loose and Gone recap. Now, we got 311 next week, and this shit this week, so... Boy. Enough rambling, enough wasting time. Good little intro. I'm gonna do a little long intro beginning of the year, but yeah, most of my intros are not gonna be this long. Hopefully. The breakdowns are long enough, so... Outside of that, not really much more I can think to say. Again, happy to be back for another year with y'all. For the 6 people watching, even that's a lot for the 2 people watching. And, ready to have another year of breaking down and recapping garbage-ass UFC fights. Why do I do this? I don't know. They're fucking terrible, but I ain't no casual. So I watch everything, and I'm gonna do it again this year. With that being said, not really much more I can think to say, besides ready to break down some fights. I am as well. Before we do, please like, comment, subscribe. As I said, 100 subs go by the end of 2025. Yeah. And as always, again, you're ready to break down some fights. I am, as much as I'm dreading this card, I am happy we have some fights finally after a month. So, UFC Vegas 101 breakdown. Let's go. 14 fights in total, and we begin in the lightweight divisional fight that's already been changed on short notice, but you know, that happens. Only 2 fights have done that on this card, and they both got replacements, so that's nice. As in our first fight of 2025, we head to the lightweight division for an okay fight. I've seen worse, I've seen better. As we have to begin 2025, Joe Solecki versus Nurullo Tajik Igul Aliev. Solecki is stepping in for, you know, Ashmu's about the same level of fighter. Like, I really don't think this is much more difficult. Like, I still think either way I have the same pick, which I think that kind of gives away who I'm picking, but do I really need to give away who I'm picking here? Yeah, this is a fine fight to begin the card, the year, the night, whatever you want to say. It's gonna be a wrestling match, which, you know, garbage. Ban this boring garbage and learn how to actually fight, but, you know, just side notes. This is fine. I don't hate it. We've started a year of worst fights. I think last year we began with Josh Van and Felipe Bunes, which is alright. One year we began with... I feel like it was like Cashwada, some like Eubanks or some bullshit. So we usually begin the year with a pretty weak fight, but to begin the year with this, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. So Solecki and Aliev, not a bad fight to begin the year. Again, a short notice fight for Solecki, which I'm not sure why you would actually take this fight on short notice on a 2-fight skid, but you know, logic. And yeah, not very much more I can say in that regard. So let's talk about the fighters. We'll begin with Joe Solecki. Solecki in the UFC is 5-3. His 5 wins. I'm gonna take away his grappling because I don't care. His 5 wins since coming off Contender Series: Matt Winman, Austin Hubbard, Jim Miller, Alex Da Silva, and Carl Deaton. His 3 losses. Jesus. He lost to Nicholas Moda? Bum. His 3 losses are Jared Gordon, Drakkar Klose, and Grant Dawson. Solecki is as one-dimensional as you can get. He can't strike for shit. He's just a wrestler. He's kind of just a shittier... It's funny, he fought Grant Dawson. He's just a shittier Grant Dawson. He has no fucking striking, and he's just a wrestler. Like, how he beat Jim Miller, I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know. But outside of that, he's beaten nobody good. And every time he's fought someone decent, he's lost badly. So, he's just not a good fighter. Because he's not a fighter, he's a fucking wrestler. If Solecki ever, like, tried to get better at anything, he might be semi-decent, because, again, his wrestling is fine, but it's the only thing he can do. But he's never learned how to strike. I can't remember ever seeing him strike to begin with. That's the thing, I've never even remembered. Like, I can at least remember Grant Dawson trying to strike. It ended with him getting knocked the fuck out, but I can remember it. I don't even remember seeing Joe Solecki try to strike. Like, even against, like, a Jim Miller, when he won that fight, that wasn't because of his fucking striking. So, I'm kind of, like, the dude just won't fucking strike. It's really weird how, like, even with the most well-known wrestlers, I can remember seeing them at least try to strike. Marab, Umar, Grant Dawson. But it's like, I've never seen this motherfucker strike. So, I don't know. I really don't, like, maybe for, like, I know it's a short notice. He's been off since June. Maybe he's got a little bit of striking. If he's smart, he tries to strike here, because do you really want to fight a dude named Nurullo Aliev on the ground? No. But if he's Joe Solecki, like we know he is, he's going to somehow find a reason to go to the ground and probably get his ass beat, so smart. And he's a terrible defensive wrestler, like we saw in the Grant Dawson fight where he just got held down for 15 minutes. So Solecki's just not a good fighter, because he's, again, not a fighter. So when your second best to win is Austin Hubbard, there's a small problem. So at one point, Solecki was a sub decent prospect, and now he's probably about to be the first fighter on the chopping block in 2025, so maybe you could pull an upset. I don't know how, but I guess, again, maybe you can pull off the upset. But yeah, more than likely Solecki's UFC career ends to begin 2025. To talk about his opponent, Nurullo Aliev, he is alive. Khabib Jr. is fucking alive. Not had a fight since February 2023. Almost 2 years, he's finally back. He tried to have another fight at the end of 2023 against Ronbecki. Probably better he didn't get that fight to go through. He tried, and then we didn't see anything from him in 2024. He's finally back. I swear that said John Wick for a second. I was like, what the fuck? It's good to see him back. Is he a great fighter? Debatable still. If you remember his debut, a lot of interesting things happened in that fight. But 24 years old, 9-0. Aliev's decent. He has a lot of talent. He just sat out for 2 fucking years. Hopefully ring rust ain't a thing. I highly doubt it for him. He's 24 years old. I don't know why he was sitting out. If it was an injury, I am guessing. I don't think he was just sitting on his ass not fighting. That'd be fucking stupid. But I'm guessing he was just fucking injured. Depending on the injury, I've not heard what the injury was. But again, hopefully it wasn't nothing serious. Because it's good to have him back. He's an interesting prospect in lightweight. Do I think he stacks up to the better prospect in the division, like an Esteban Ribovics or an Ignacio Bahamondes? No. Not as of right now from what I've seen. Like, again, his one win in the UFC is Rafael Alves, who's good in karate combat. In the UFC, he wasn't that good. He was entertaining. He wasn't good. So now he's like getting a step down in competition, in my opinion, against Joe Solecki. We should be able to see what he can do. On the feet, he's going to be the better striker. On the ground, he's going to be better. This is just a showcase fight for Aliev, and hopefully, again, he's not rusty. Whatever injury he had, I'm guessing, is not, it's not serious. And, let's see Aliev back doing what he was doing before. So, good to see Aliev back after 2 years. Good to see he's fucking alive. And, let's see if he still got it. 9-0. What can Khabib Jr. do? No ring rust, please. Don't get fraud checked by Joe Solecki. The betting odds for this fight have Nurullo Aliev minus 540 to plus 400. Yeah, you could have him even higher of a favorite. I really don't know how he loses this fight. He should win pretty easily. He's better on the feet. He's better on the ground. He's younger by 7 years. The only bad thing, he's been off for 2 years. So ring rust could be a thing. I highly doubt it for him, but you never know. It's the only way he loses this fight is if he loses this fight. It's not going to be because of Solecki doing anything special. So Aliev should win this pretty soundly. I would not be shocked if this is the same as the Grant Dawson fight, where Aliev just fucking lays on Solecki like Grant Dawson did. I could see Aliev getting a finish on the feet, because again, he is a way better striker. I could see him getting a TKO on the ground, or a submission. But more than likely, I see him just holding Solecki down like Grant Dawson did and getting an easy 30-27 win. So I'm going to go Nurullo Aliev by decision. Again, I could see a finish. Solecki is very easy to finish. He got slammed on his head by fucking Jakar Close, and his striking is non-existent. So again, Aliev will have the advantage in that. But I just don't see Solecki doing anything to win this fight. I don't see Aliev going out of his way to do anything dangerous. So I just see an Aliev domination for 15 minutes. So give me Nurullo Aliev by decision. Pretty easy, 30-27 to begin the year. And that's pretty all I gotta say about that. Not gonna be the most exciting fight, but it's good to see a prospect finally back after 2 years. After that, we have to our second fight of the night, our first female fight of 2025, and it's a decent one. This is not terrible, shockingly. Better than the main event, that's for sure. Our first female fight of 2025 in the strawweight division, unless one of them is moving up. No, it's strawweight. As in our second fight of the night, we head to strawweight for a decent fight between Victoria Dudakova versus Fatima the Archangel Kline. Again, first female fight of the year, not a bad one. I don't think this is terrible. Two young fucking prospects in the strawweight division. Dudakova coming off her first L, how she's gonna take that, we'll see. Kline getting her first real UFC fight in a way in her division of strawweight. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting one. Should be a decent one. I'm not expecting anything special, but this should be a decent fight. So let's see who's one's gonna turn into a 2 in that L column, and what prospect's gonna get their first win in a while. First win of 2025, I guess, if you want to say so. Because I was going to say first win, but that's a lie for Dudakova, so, yeah. Either way, first female fight of the year, not a bad one. Should be an interesting fight. And let's get into it. We will begin with Victoria Dudakova. Victoria in the UFC is 2-1. Really should be 1-1-1. Coming off Contender Series in her UFC debut, she had that, she pushed Estela Nunes to the ground pretty much. She broke her arm. I think that's a no contest. I don't look at that as a win, but whatever. It's Estela Nunes. She's gonna win that anyway, but I still say 1-1-1. Then in her next fight, she beat Jinyu Fry. It's Jinyu Fry. And then her last fight, she lost her undefeated O to Sam Hughes. Debatable decision. It was close, I guess. You could give it to Dudakova. It was not a complete robbery, but it definitely was a questionable decision. Very worrying for fucking Dudakova that you're getting. Even if it was a robbery, you still had a close fight with Sam Hughes, who's ass. So I expect a little bit better there from an undefeated prospect. In hindsight, Melissa Gatto would have easily beaten her. I don't know. I just think Dudakova looked really underwhelming in the UFC. Like, again, the no contest against Estela, that's happened. The Jinyu Fry fight, missing weight, didn't look the greatest. Clearly won, but it wasn't as easy as it should have been. And then Sam Hughes, even if it was a bad decision, still a close fight with Sam Hughes, not great. And then if you look at her as a fighter, her striking is not good. Her ground game's okay, but her takedowns are not. Her cardio sucks. I get she's 25 years old, but like, you gotta start getting better. Like, maybe that L lit a fire under her. She's had time to get better. We'll see. If her striking is better, her cardio is better, her takedown entries are better, we'll see. Because they're going to need to be against Fatima Kline, so we'll see if Dudakova, like, we've seen these undefeated prospects lose, and they've either come back better and hungrier, or they've just come back broken. Which one is Dudakova? We'll see. She has potential if she can get better, but she has to get better. So, a lot of holes in her game. Can she finally fix them? We'll see. To talk about her opponent, Fatima Kline. Kline in UFC is 0-1 in her UFC debut on really short notice. She fought Jasmine Jasovicius. No shocker, going to take an L there. Up a weight class on short notice against a top 15 fighter. Shit happens. This is really her first real UFC fight. Down at strawweight, her weight class, instead of up 10 pounds. Versus someone who's not a top 15 fighter on short notice. Was that in Canada, no less? So was that in their fucking backyard, even worse? Nah, in Denver. But yeah, in a high goddamn altitude. So, and even putting all those asterisks on it, she still looked good. She gave Jasmine a tough fight. It wasn't like no fucking close, could go either way, but it was still like, she gave Jasmine a fight, something we've seen from a lot of young fighters who step in on short notice lately. Fucking last year had plenty of them. Fatima being the main one, female-wise, that I could think of. So, she's not bad. I'm very, very excited to see how she does on a full camp down at her weight class of strawweight against someone who's not a top 15 fighter, someone who's far from it, actually. She looked great. Like I said, she looked great in that fight against Jasmine. Striking's decent. Ground game's really good. She trains with Ern Blanchfield, so you're gonna be a good fucking grappler. 24 years old, 6-1, very young. She's interesting. I'm excited to see more from her, because again, that Jazz fight was close, but still pretty handily for Jasmine. We're gonna see how Fatima does down a weight class. Well, down in her weight class against a step-down competition, so gonna be interesting. I think she's a very intriguing prospect, and if she lives up to the hype that she's getting right now, she could be a top 15 fighter, because she has all the skills. Again, trains with Ern Blanchfield, who's a top fucking, almost gonna fight for a belt soon, maybe, so we'll see what Fatima can do. Very interesting fighter, getting a nice opponent here. See what she can do on a full camp. I'm excited to find out. The bang odds for this fight are actually fucking insane. -900 for Fatima Kline, the biggest favorite on the card, to +650. And it's funny saying that, and you look here, it's a 50-50 split. I agree, Kline should win. I'm gonna pick Kline. She should not be -900. I would say -400 at most. Like, I agree, she's better than Dudakova. She should win this fight pretty easily. -900, Aliev's a tinier favorite, and I think his margin of losing is a lot smaller. So, I really don't get how Aliev's only -6 and Kline's almost -1,000. So, I don't get it. I really don't. So, again, I agree, Kline's gonna win this fight. My pick is Fatima, but -900? It seems too big of a favorite. But maybe she will look -900. Very good chance of that. Because she's just a better fighter. On the feet, she's better. On the ground, she's better. Got better cardio. She should win this fight. So, I don't agree with the -900 price tag. But I do agree with them in the regard of Kline should win. So, give me Fatima Kline by decision. There's not going to be a finish, let's be honest. I don't even know who would be getting the finish if there was one. Just going to be probably a pretty dominant decision for Fatima. Round 1 might be interesting. Round 2 and 3, when Dudakova gasses out, it will be a domination for Kline. 29-28 at worst, 30-27. If it goes the way it probably should. Fatima Kline by decision. Not really much else to say. Sorry, Dudakova, unless you got really good really fast, I don't think you're going to win this one. Fatima by decision. After that, we head to our third fight of the night, the hardest fight on the card to predict, in my opinion. I have no idea who I'm going with in this fight. This is a very tough one to predict. And in our third fight of the night, in the light heavyweight division, we have a prospect battle, quotation marks, between MG Magomed Gadzhiyasulov versus Bruno Lopes. not a bad fight. I think the main selling point for this fight is it is so hard to predict, in my opinion. I think this is a very tight fight. Again, I think the hardest one to predict, because I don't think either of these guys are that good. Like, again, like, prospects with heavy quotation marks, because especially compared to the actual, like, better prospects in the division, these two are not even close to being on the level of Omer Sy, Ibo Aslan, and who's the other one? Oh, Zhang Mingyang. Like, these two would get smashed by Omer, Ibo, and Zhang. So, but these two are still prospects, quotation marks. At least for now, one of them will stay a prospect, the other will not be a prospect after this. So, we'll see what happens. Interesting fight. Hardest fight on the card to predict, in my opinion. So let's get into it. We'll begin with the undefeated. I think, is he the only undefeated guy? And one of the only, I think, 2 undefeated fighters. 3, Aliev as well. 3 undefeated fighters on the card. Magomed Gadzhiyasulov. Magomed is 1-0 in the UFC, coming out Contender Series. He looked fine on Contender Series, but could have looked better. He looked fine in his UFC debut, but could have looked better. I feel like that's just been kind of the main idea with Magomed so far in the UFC. He could look better, but he's looking fine. I still find his picture funny that he's snapping his fucking ankle. Good job, Brian Ortega. He's not looked bad, but he's just been underwhelming. Against Jose Medina, a tomato can. He couldn't finish him. Against Brenton Ribeiro, he just laid on him. I don't think Gadzhiyasulov's a bad fighter, but do I look at him as like a decent prospect with how he's looked so far? Especially if you compare him to, again, the other prospects? No. I really don't. I truly don't think he's that great of a prospect. If you throw him in there with a lot of light heavyweights right now, I think he loses. So, he just needs a lot more work. His striking's okay. His grappling is just laying on you, but you know, like, it's something. He's just not impressed me yet. Like, he's really not been impressive. So, like, yeah, again, and that's the thing when he fought 2 of the worst fighters I've ever fucking seen. At least Jose Medina wise. Ribeiro is your run-of-the-mill tomato can. So, but still, against 2 bad fighters, he's looked okay. Like, it happened. This is his first, like, hard fight, I'd say, in the UFC, and even this ain't, like, no, like, Bruno Lopes ain't goddamn fucking Diego Lopes. He's just an okay fighter, but I think, compared to his other opponents, this is a giant step up, so, I don't know. We'll see if this is gonna answer a lot of questions about Gadzhiyasulov. I think he's a better striker here, but how does he do against someone who's not a fucking punching bag, who can't fight, so... We'll see. I'm interested. I'm very, very interested, so... Let's see what MG can do. He has the striking. He doesn't really have the ground game, and his cardio is questionable. We'll see what he can do. To talk about his opponent, Bruno Lopes. Bruno is making his UFC debut, obviously. He went 1-1 on Contender Series. Funny enough, he lost to Brenton Ribeiro on the Contender Series. And then last year he came back, beat some tomato can, and is now in the UFC. Yeah, not really the greatest performances for Bruno on the Contender Series. Ribeiro, that's aging like fucking milk. Which, again, a guy Gadzhiyasulov beat pretty easily. And then, I'm not even going to try and say that fucking name. He beat him. Yeah, Bruno got his second chance, and he did win. But again, the guy looked like he fucking sucked. So, I don't really know what you want me to say there. I don't really see a lot in Bruno. I don't think he's that great of a fighter. His striking's okay. His ground game's okay. I don't think he's a can as of right now, but he's perfectly fine. He can beat some of the lamer fighters in the division. Like, he could beat a Marcin Prachnio, where he's not gonna ever beat anyone actually that good. So, we'll see with Bruno what he can do. I think he's not old. He's only 31 years old, 13-1. He's not... I swear he went to shoot to box, but I'm wrong. we'll see what this guy can do. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not really high on him either. Like, Gadzhiyasulov has looked underwhelming. Lopes just hasn't looked impressive at all. He's looked just meh. So, two dudes who are just not looking that fucking, like, great. It's fucking... That's what makes this fight interesting, because two dudes who just have neither one looked that amazing. So, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Gonna be interesting. Interesting prospect battle in the light heavyweight division. The betting odds for this fight have Magomed Gadzhiyasulov minus 225 to plus 185. I would move him down a little bit. I'd probably have Gadzhiyasulov minus 190 to 195 at most. Like, I get why he's a big favorite. He beat the guy that beat Lopes on Contender Series. That definitely is gonna help. But I just not been impressed with Gadzhiyasulov. Like, I'm probably gonna pick him. I'm leaning that way, but it's definitely not a super confident pick. If he loses, I would not be shocked. I think Lopes has what it takes to beat Gadzhiyasulov, but I'm just... It's a battle of two dudes who I'm just not sold on as prospects. One dude's underwhelming, one dude just hasn't really done anything impressive. I don't know. It's a weird fight. It's a very weird fight, so I'm intrigued. I'm probably gonna go Gadzhiyasulov, like I said, but I could change that pick. Don't be shocked. But as of right now, I'm probably gonna lean Gadzhiyasulov. I think he can keep it. I think he can keep it a point fighting match for long enough to where he can at least secure the first 2 rounds, and then survive round 3 or just do much of the same. So I'm gonna go Gadzhiyasulov by decision. Not my most confident pick. Again, could very much be changed. But as of right now, I'm going to go Gadzhiyasulov by decision, I believe. Close fight. Again, the hardest one to pick on the card, I'd probably say. And, yeah, let's see what underwhelming prospect can get the W. Gadzhiyasulov by decision is my pick as of right now. That could change. 4th fight. Only half an hour in. We're going to be here a while. 4th fight of the night, our 2nd female fight of the year, and we're staying in the strawweight, we're going up to flyweight, my bad. I made like 6 different emotions there. Our 4th fight of the night in the women's flyweight division. This one, I'd say, is a little worse than the Kline fight, but it's not a bad fight at all. And then our 4th fight of the night, our 2nd female fight of the year, we had the women's flyweight 4, Ernesta, heavy-handed Kareckaite versus Nicolle Caliari. I think that's how you say it. Kinda the same way I would describe this fight as the last fight. Just a prospect battle and not a great one at that. Just not... This is probably the lowest level fight so far. Like, no disrespect to at least one of these two. I don't think much of Ernesta, but we'll see. Well, this is a really interesting... We're going to learn a lot about both these fighters here. So, it's just another prospect fight, which is not easy to fucking predict most of the time. Is this one easier than Gadzhiyasulov? Maybe a little, not by much, but yeah, it's just another fucking tough prospect fight to try and predict. Fun for the fucking family. Fuck. Here we go. Another very fucking low level prospect fight. Let's see if Caliari is legit or if Ernesta can look decent. God, fucking these low level prospects. Let's get into it. We'll begin with Ernesta Kareckaite, aka Chase Hooper, as a woman. Literally the exact same build. Ernesta in the UFC is 0-1 coming out of Contender Series. In her UFC debut, she lost to Dione Barboza in a close fight. She didn't look bad, I guess. Like, she didn't look terrible. It was another low-level fight like this one. Barboza's not really a great striker, was just trying to get her to the ground, and didn't really work out as perfectly as she would have planned, so it was a really close fight. Ernesta is not a great fighter. She's a decent striker, and in a pure striking match, she's not terrible, but if you get her to the ground, she does not seem to be very good. She's very tall and lengthy, which is good and bad. Good because that easier to get up, bad, easier to get subbed. So kind of a win-lose scenario there. She's just very green as a fighter, 5-1-1. We'll see what she can do here. She's gotten better fighting another Brazilian prospect who's a ground fighter, so she's already seen this. Is Caliari a better or worse grappler than Barboza? We'll see. Is she a better or worse striker than Barboza? We will see. That's the thing with these prospect fights. It's just we will see. Like, that's all you can really say. You can't, because you really don't fucking know. So, we will see what Ernesta can do here against another young Brazilian prospect. So, we know on the feet Ernesta's good. She's probably the better striker, but we will see how she does if she can get taken down. So, see, 5-1-1, not the most experienced, especially on the ground. See what she can do. To talk about her opponent, Nicolle Caliari. She is making her UFC debut, come on Contender Series, where she looked decent. Got a nice armbar. That's about all I can say, because I don't remember the rest of that fight. Caliari seems to be an alright fighter, decent grappler. I don't love seeing she lost to K fucking Hansen of all people. But you know, happens, I guess. 28 years old, pretty fucking old for being like a very inexperienced fighter. I know 28 ain't old, but like I thought she'd be like 25. So 8-2, 4-fight winning streak, all by 3 by submission, 1 by finish. Not lost since that K Hansen fight. We'll see what she can do. 5 knockout/TKO, 3 submission, never won by decision, got beat by decision. We'll see what Caliari can do here. Again, Ernesta is a very interesting fighter. So, a very interesting fighter to try and game plan for, because again, on the feet, she's going to be outmatched and just outsized. Let's see. Oh my god, 5'9", 5'3", 71-62. Jesus fucking Christ. They're not even in the same weight class, for fuck's sake. We'll see what Caliari can do here. She's definitely going to want to get to the ground. If she's smart, she wants to get this fight down. But can she get this fight down? That's the fucking problem. We'll see. We'll really fucking see. She might have better striking than Barboza, which could open up the takedowns more. Because with Barboza, Ernesta knew she could just fucking stuff takedowns and not without any worry. Here, we don't know about Caliari's striking yet. So we're gonna find out. We're really gonna find out in this fight, like we did with Barboza and her fight with Kareckaite. So this is gonna be interesting. I don't think this is a bad fight. I just think it's a hard one to predict because again, it's a prospect fight. So it's just we will see. So I'm intrigued. I'll say that one. I'll say that at least. I'm intrigued. But outside of being intrigued, I have no fucking idea who I'm picking in this fight. God, this might be harder than Gadzhiyasulov, to be honest. Wow, 67-33. I feel like people are just throwing darts at a fucking board, praying. Like, you just gotta throw a dart and pray with this fight. Whoever lands on, just pray. I could see Ernesta keeping it on the feet and winning for 15 minutes. I could see Caliari getting the fight down, submitting her. I could see a lot of fucking things in this fight. What's gonna happen? We'll see. The betting odds have Ernesta minus 275 to 220. I don't know what the fuck they're seeing for that betting line. I would have it a pick'em. I would have this a pick'em. Minus 115. Because I don't know who the fuck's winning. To be honest. You have the very green striker who we really don't know about their ground game and they're fucking giant. Versus the very green grappler who we don't really know about their striking and is very short. So, yeah, you know, really easy fight to predict. I have no idea. Again, I truly just have no fucking idea who I'm going with here. I'm gonna leave, for right now, I might lean, I might lean Calicara. But man, I don't know. Or Caliari, however fucking Nicolle and Ernesta. There you go. I might lean Nicolle for right now, but I have no fucking idea. I'm really intrigued to see him face off, to see how big that height difference really is. So, right now I might lean Caliari, but I have no idea. To be honest, I changed my mind. This is the hardest fight on the card to predict, 'cause I have no idea. So, for right now, I'm gonna say fucking question mark. I'm leaning Caliari, but I have no fucking idea. So, we'll see. We'll see. For right now, I don't have a pick, because I don't know. I won't know when fucking till... I don't know. I'm just gonna throw my hands up, put in a prediction, and fucking pray. So, I don't know. That's simple. I don't know. That's all I can say about that fight. Not a bad fight. Not easy to predict. I throw my hands up and pray. After that, we to our 5th fight of the night in the welterweight division. Yes, our only other short notice replacement fight of the night. Then our 5th fight of the night in the welterweight division, we have Preston Pressure Parsons versus Jacobe Smith. Jacobe is stepping in for Adrius Gustafsson, who pulled out about a week or so ago. So, yeah, why would Preston take this fight on short notice? I don't fucking know, but you know, shit happens. Then we get to see, instead of seeing Gustafsson debut, we get to see Jacobe Smith's debut, which is cool. And, yeah, got a very interesting fight here, so let's see what happens. We'll begin with the veteran of this fight, Preston Pressure Parsons. Parsons in the UFC is 2-3. His 2 wins are Evan Elder and Matthew Semelsberger, funny enough, on the first card of 2024. And his 3 losses are Daniel Rodriguez, Trevin Giles, and Oban Elliott. Parsons is like the most average fighter on earth. His striking's okay, his grappling's okay, his cardio's okay. He pushes a decent pace, but I think Pressure is a big ask for a nickname. And his 2 wins are against 2 dudes who are not even in the... Well, no, Elder is in the UFC still, and he's okay. Semelsberger's not even in the UFC anymore. And his 3 losses, old-ass Daniel Rodriguez, Trevin Giles, who sucks, and Oban Elliott. That's understandable. He was actually the favorite in that fight somehow. Crazy. Yeah, Parsons is okay. Like, I can't really say anything that much better about him, because I don't really think much higher of him than that. He's a fighter. Like, he's not bad at anything, but he's not good at anything. He's not a fucking top contender, and he's not a trash fighter. He's just a fighter. So we know what they're doing with this fight. They're trying to build up a prospect, and we'll see how that works. So maybe he can fraud check Smith. I doubt it, but most likely this is just another L for Preston, and we're back-to-back fights against top prospects in the division. How fun. So yeah, not really much to say about Preston. We know why he's here, just to get fucking beat, so we'll see what he can do, man. We'll see what he can do. Maybe he can shock the world, but more likely he's going to get beat pretty easily. To talk about his opponent, the debuting Jacobe Smith. Jacobe obviously making his debut off the Contender Series, where he looked great, just mauling his opponent. He looked great. He just mauled the motherfucker for as long as the fight lasted. So I think he made a dude blow out his knee or whatever also. So, you know, good things there. Yeah, Jacobe's a really interesting prospect. 7 knockouts, 2 decisions, 28 years old, 9-0. Very interesting. English. Very interesting prospect. We'll see what he can do here. A lot of hype on him. I know he was one of the people from last year's Contender Series. A lot of people were looking at it as like one of the guys who could be something, which I guess is possible. He did look very dominant. He just dominated the guy he was fighting. So we'll see what he can do. Looks to be promising. He wasn't high on my list of prospects, but we'll see how good he really is. Preston Parsons, not good, not bad, just okay. You should beat Preston Parsons, so if you want that hype to continue, you win this fight, so win this fight. So, yeah. We'll see what he can do here, man. We'll see. Outside of that, there are no betting odds on Tapology, but Jacobe is, I think, like minus 600. I think at lowest he's like minus 400. So, yeah, he's a very big favorite, and it's hard to disagree. I would have him minus 300 to 400. He should win this fight. He's probably better on the feet. He's better on the ground. He's younger, faster, probably stronger. He should win this fight pretty easily. So, give me Jacobe Smith by decision. I really don't see him losing this fight. I don't know how he would really lose this fight unless he just gasses out in 10 minutes. So, I just don't really see Preston Parsons being able to fraud check this kid. So, give me Jacobe Smith by decision. Should be pretty easy. Shouldn't be much of an issue. So, give me Jacobe Smith by decision. Not really much more to it than that. Quick, easy, simple. After that, 6th fight, still not to the main card, and we're 46 minutes in. But this is a really good fight, and this is going to be a long breakdown for this fight at least. And in our 6th fight of the night, going back to the lightweight division, we have a really good fight that I don't know how it's not on the main card. And in our 6th fight of the night, we have Thiago, Moisés versus Trey, Samurai, Ogden. Really good fight. I really like this fight. I think this is one of the best fights on the card. Which, if that's more the fight's good or the card's shit, I don't know. But I definitely think this is one of the better fights on the card. So, again, how this ain't on the main card, I'll never know. But whatever, UFC is gonna UFC. So let's just we get to break it down early. So let's do it. We will begin with Thiago Moisés, a guy I've broken down so many times by now. Thiago in the UFC is 7-6. His wins are... where did he debut? Kurt Halaba, Michael Johnson, Bobby Green, Alexander Hernandez, Christoph Giagos, Melk Costa, and Mitch Ramirez. He's not really beating anyone great lately. I just noticed that. His losses are Benil Dariush, Demirez Magulov, Islam Makhachev, Joel Alvarez, Benoit Saint-Denis, and Ludwig Kline. Yeah, I just noticed he's not really beat anyone good lately. Like, Mitch Ramirez, trash. Melk Costa, okay. Christoph Giagos, trash. His last good win was 2020 against Bobby Green, a fight he didn't even win. So, good job. Moisés is a fine fighter. Like, he's not a top 15 championship level guy. And he's not a tomato can. He's kind of the same thing I just said with fucking, Preston Parsons, just way better. He's fine. He's never gonna be a bad fighter, but he's just not top contender level. So, like, on the feet, he's good. On the ground, he's good. He's a good veteran. He's not that old yet. He's fought a who's who. So, he just hasn't beat that who's who. Like, so, yeah, he's able to go 4 rounds of Islam, so I'll give him that much. But outside of that, man, he's just not really been able to do a lot in the UFC when it comes to beating top-level guys, so... Not really much to say. Like, Thiago's good. He's a good, like, unranked gatekeeper. If you can beat him like Benoit or Ludovic, you can pass. But if you can't beat him like a fucking Melk Costa or fucking someone like that, you're not gonna go far, so... Like, he's fine. He's a perfectly fine fighter. He's decent everywhere, and that's that, so... He's decent. So, we've all seen Thiago Moisés fight by now, dude. Fucking, I swear, it's really fucking active, and it's been in the UFC for a hot minute now, so... Yeah, not really much else to say there. Excuse me, so... Thiago Moisés. Don't really got much more to say about a guy we've all seen fight by now. To talk about his opponent, the criminally underrated Trey Ogden. Trey in the UFC is 3-2-1, really should be 4-2. His wins are Daniel Zohuber, Nicholas Mota, Kurt Halava, and Loic Radzivov. His 2 losses are Jordan Levitt and Ignacio Bahamondes. His losses wise, Jordan Levitt on short notice. He didn't even look that bad in that fight. And then Ignacio Bahamondes, that's gonna happen. His wins, so Huber, that's aging really nicely. Mota, that's aging really nicely. Kurt Halaba, that's a win. And like Radzivov's a good win as a giant underdog, I believe. So Ogden's good. Ogden's like really fucking good. And I feel like he's criminally overlooked. Like, he finds ways to win, not exciting ways to win. I'll give you that much. But he finds ways to win. He's gonna take you down and fucking grind you out for 15 minutes. He did that to Loic. He did that to Kurt. He might do that again here. Like, his striking ain't great, but it's passable. His grappling's good. He runs his own fucking gym with guys like Dan Argueta and Miles Johns under his wing. Yeah, he's 35 years old, which is worrying, but he's not a bad fighter. And again, he's finding ways to win on a 3-fight winning streak. If he could beat Thiago Moisés here, he's right in contention for a ranking. I would say he's 1 fight away from a ranking if he beats fucking Thiago Moisés here, which is insane to say about Trey fucking Ogden. So we'll see if he can get that fucking the biggest one of his career so far, and against a tough veteran like Thiago Moisés. I'm intrigued. I think it's a very interesting fight. And if Ogden wants to win this fight, he has to get it down, in my opinion. So we'll see if he can. Gonna be interesting, man. Gonna be interesting. I'm excited for this fight. This is the first fight on the card I can actually say I'm excited for. So can't wait. The betting on first fight, I have Thiago Moisés minus 195 to plus 160. I don't agree with that at all. I would have that a lot closer. Like, I'd have Moisés maybe minus 140 at most. Because I think Moisés has more ways to win. Because he's a better striker. So he has right there, a striking advantage. And then on the ground, he's good. Moisés does have a ground game. I can't remember him ever getting, like, grapple fucked outside of Islam, who's Islam. Outside of that, has he ever been grappled to death? I don't really remember that happening. I mean, well, Benoit beat him up on the feet too, so I can't even say that. So it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how Thiago does against a guy who is not a good striker but can strike, and a guy who's really good on the ground. So it's gonna be interesting. And then Ogden's gonna have to try and beat a guy who's a really good striker compared to him. So this is going to be interesting. This is a very interesting fight I'm excited for. Who am I going with? God, I could see this going either way. Thiago could fucking beat him on the feet. Ogden could get him to the ground. Cardio-wise, I think Ogden's is better. This is going to be a tough fight. Give me... Do I go with the underdog? It's such a tough fight. What's Tapology doing? Yeah, I get that. I'm leaning Trey Ogden. I think I'm gonna lean Trey Ogden. I think he can get to the ground. He has more momentum right now. He's hungrier. Moisés hasn't beat anyone that good in a long time. So I'm leaning Trey Ogden. I could see him springing another upset here after just springing 2 in a row with Kurt, and I think 3 in a row. I don't think he's been a favorite in any one of his wins so far. So I'm intrigued. It's hard not to be intrigued in this fight, and I'm leaning Trey Ogden. So fuck. Gotta stop fucking yawning. These fights are not that boring yet. So I'm gonna go Trey Ogden, I think. It might change. You don't know. It might change. But I'm leaning Ogden. We'll see if that changes. So I'm going to lean Trey Ogden by decision. Will this pick age badly? Good chance of it. But we have to wait and see. It might change. But right now I'm going to lean Trey Ogden. I think. After that, we finally get to our co-main event of the prelims, going back, oh no, this is middleweight. Yeah, we going to the middleweight division. I thought this was light heavyweight for a second. Going to the middleweight division for a pretty easy fight predict. Not going to waste a lot of time here. As in our 6th fight of the night, or 7th, whatever number we're on at this point. Our prelim co-main, we have Marco Motuto Tulio versus Ihor Duelist Potieria. We know what's going to happen here. Let's get it out of the way. We'll start with Marco Tulio. Tulio is making his UFC debut after 2 stints on the Contender Series. In his first Contender Series fight, he was so boring, why would you sign him? In his second Contender Series fight, he looked better. Still didn't look amazing, but he looked better. So Dana gave him a shot. He is from Shoot to Box, I believe. He's decent. He should be able to beat a tomato can like Ihor Potieria, I would hope. So, yeah, he looked fine on Contender Series. He'll probably look fine again here. I don't think he looked great. I don't know if I would give him a contract, but, you know, I gotta feed Ihor Potieria to someone, so why not sign some random dude and see how he does? So, yeah, not really, much to say there. He's a fine fighter. And for Ihor, I'm not even going to talk about him. I just want to see. So he likes to get knocked out. Okay, interesting. Yeah, the pick is going to be Tulio by whatever he fucking wants. It's not hard to fucking see what the writing's on the wall here. Ihor is just here to lose, like always. So let's see him do that. I'm going to go Tulio by probably knockout. I don't think he's, like, for going to shoot box, I don't think he's a submission guy, is he? Yeah. I'm going Tulio by knockout in the first. He should be able to put Ihor down pretty easily. Most people have, and it's pretty easy. So, give me Marco Tulio by knockout in the first. First finish prediction of the year, most likely. Yeah, Ihor is just ass. So, give me Tulio by knockout in the first. Not because I think Tulio's a great fighter. I just think Ihor's a joke. So, yeah. Tulio by knockout in the first, pretty easy prediction. And now for our featured prelim, finally, even though why is this the featured prelim, we head to flyweight for a fight that, again, why is this the featured prelim over a few options, but you know, UFC. Then our featured prelim, our first featured prelim of the year, we head to flyweight for Jose Lobo Soriano Johnson versus Felipe Filipino Bunes. Why is this a featured prelim? I truly don't understand that. It's not a bad fight. I don't even know if it's the worst fight on the prelims, but it's just whatever. Let's knock this out of the way real quick. Not much to say. Don't really care. Let's get it done. We'll begin with the giant himself, Jose Johnson. 6 feet at flyweight is fucking insane. In the UFC, he is 1-2 coming out of Contender Series, and his 1 UFC win is against Chad and Hellinger. His 2 losses are Damon Blackshear and Asu Almabayev. 0-1 at flyweight, 1-1 at bantamweight. Jose's a decent fighter though. Like, he should have a way better record than 1-2, but they've given him 2 really tough opponents that were kind of bullshit if you think about it. Like, why is he fighting Asu Almabayev in his fucking flyweight debut? But, you know, logic. Jose's a fine fighter. His striking's okay. His offensive ground game's decent. His defensive ground game's kind of shit. 29 years old, again, he seems to have this flyweight cut down, so that's good. He hasn't missed weight, at least for his first cut. We'll see how he does on his second weight cut. Yeah, he's fine. He's not a bad fighter, he's not a good fighter, he's fine. So, about really all I can say. There's nothing really outside of being ginormous for flyweight. There's just not really anything jumping off the page for Jose. So he's fine, and that's about that. So yeah, Do talk about his opponent, Felipe Bunes. Felipe in the UFC is 0-1. Funny enough, that debut was last year to open last year's first card of the year. And that was an L to Joshua Van. Who the fuck thought that was a good debut? Yeah, I don't even know why Bunes is here. He's 35 years old at flyweight. He's going into his debut, he was only on a 2-fight winning streak. Before, going into his debut, he was 3-2 in his last 5, 3-3 in his last 6. So, actually, 3-4 in his last 7. So I don't even know why he's in the UFC. I don't know what Dana thought was so impressive, losing to Juicier Formiga, a guy who fucking sucks. So, I just don't get why he's here, a 35-year-old fucking flyweight who's not that good. Why is he here? I don't get it. Maybe he'll show something this fight he didn't show against Joshua Van, but, I doubt it, so good luck, kid. Good luck, Grandpa, 35 years old. The betting odds for this fight have Jose Johnson minus 185 to plus 155. I disagree. I would have those odds higher. I would have Jose minus 300-400. He should win this fight with ease. To the point where I'm calling him my lock of the night. I know Aliev or Jacobe Smith are safer picks, but I just don't see how Jose loses this fight. I truly don't. He's way bigger. Fucking 6 feet 5'7". He's way younger. He's just a better fighter from what I've seen. I don't see how Jose would lose this fight. On the feet, he's good. On the ground, he's offensively good. Defensively, awful. He should win this fight pretty easily. Bunes is ass. So, I'm going to go Jose Johnson by... How does Felipe like to lose? Usually decision. Okay. And I don't think Jose is really a finish guy either. 8, 3, and 5. Christ. I think I'm gonna go Jose by... I'm leaning decision. Maybe I'll change that to something else. We'll see. But I'm leaning decision. You never know. Again, that could change. I'll wait to see the face-off. See how big that height difference really is. But as of right now, I'm going to probably lean decision. So, my pick and my lock of the night, Jose Johnson by decision. Again, do I think they're safer picks? Yeah. But I guess I just didn't want to go with those guys. I want to go with Jose. I feel like he can win this pretty soundly. So, give me Jose Johnson by probably decision as of right now. We'll see if that changes. Should be an easy night for him. But you never know. That's about that. Finally, an hour in, we have our fucking prelims done. They're good prelims. Aliev, good to see back. Kline, a fun fight. These two fights are just pains in the ass. Jacobe Smith could be good. Thiago and Ogden's great. Tulio could be a fun finish. Jose Johnson, my lock of the night. Not bad shit here. Not bad. The main card, it gets a little different, but, yeah. Prelims, decent. Main card, oh Christ. Let's just get into it. Not a lot of great things to say about most of these fights, so let's just get into this shit. We begin our first main card of 2025 with a fight in the welterweight division, with a fight that should be good but probably won't be, as we have Punahele Soriano versus Uros the Dr. Medic. This fight goes one of two ways, pretty much. Either Puna becomes a little bitch again and thinks he's Khabib, or Uros knocks him the fuck out. That's that simple. If you honestly ask me what I think's gonna happen, I think Puna's gonna fucking nut hug him like he did Miguel Baeza, because he's a little bitch that can't fight. But I'm gonna put my pick in as Medic because fuck Puna. So, I don't fucking care about the person. I give a fuck. The little bitch fighter that said, yeah, I'm gonna be boring now. Learn how to fight, bitch. Give me Uros Medic by knockout first. I want to see him drop this dumb fuck. So, give me Uros by knockout in the first. Knock on wood, he can stop a takedown. But more than likely, he's going to get fucking beat up like Miguel Baeza. So, knock on wood again. Uros, knock him out. Please don't get wrestle fucked by a fucking loser. So, yeah. Uros by knockout in the first, because he's the only fighter in this fight. About all I gotta say there. Fuck Puna. And another fighter I hate. Oh boy, a few of those on the main card. Though not gonna be a lot to talk about here. Our second fight of the night in the of the main card, I should say, in the featherweight division debut. I'm very excited for. I can't wait to see how this dude does in UFC. As in our second fight of the main card in the featherweight division, we have Austin Bashi versus Christian Rodriguez. Who cares? Austin Bashi finally in the UFC, making his debut. That's going to be interesting. I'm very excited to see Bashi in the UFC. Kid's good. The kid's good. His striking's debatable. We really didn't get to see his striking on Contender Series because it was kind of non-existent. Definitely, when he fights a good fighter, he will definitely have some problems, I feel, when they could stop his takedown. But as of right now, he's fighting a tomato can, so he should not have to worry about problems like that. So, yeah, I'm very intrigued in Bashi. I think 13-0, 23 years old, very young. We'll see what he can do. We'll see what he can do. He was definitely one of the guys at the top of my list of the prospects from 2024 Contender Series, so I'm very excited to see how he does in UFC. And again, they're giving him a layup debut, so let's see how he does. I'm intrigued. So, welcome to UFC Bashi, one of the most interesting prospects from 2024's Contender Series. Let's see if he lives up to the hype. And no, I'm not going to waste time talking about C-Rod because he sucks. The main first fight I have Austin Bashi minus 235 plus 195. Yeah, I'd probably have him minus 300 if so. He should win easily. He's just better than C-Rod. So, but I know that's not saying a lot because C-Rod's a fucking joke, but still. Bashi is better. He's better on the ground, on the feet. He's probably better there too because C-Rod's shit. But overall, Bashi should win this fight pretty fucking easily. 30-26 domination. Same thing Isaac Dulgarian did to C-Rod. And that should be that. So, give me Austin Bashi by decision. Not very much else to say. Quick, easy, done. Debut. And for another fighter I hate off, we got a fucking three-piece here on the main card. That's in our third fight of the main card. Probably the best fight on the card, in my opinion. This should be the co-main, if not the main event. I would not mind. As in our third fight of the main card in the middleweight division, we have Chris the Crying Man Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. Not gonna say anything about Chris Curtis. You know he sucks. I know he sucks. Fuck him, little crybaby bitch. Talk about his opponent, Roman Kopylov. Kopylov's good. He's getting better. 5-3 in the UFC. His wins are Alicio Di Chirico, Punahele Soriano, Claudio Ribeiro, Josh Frem, and Cesar Almeida. His two losses are Albert Duraev, remember that guy, Carl Robertson, and Fluffy Hernandez. Kopylov's good on the feet. Really fucking good striker. Kind of a Crow Cobb-like fighter. Really good head kick. Really good hands. He's good. On the ground, he seems to be getting better. After seeing that Caesar fight, it's like he's trying to get a ground game now, which is very smart. Especially as he climbs up the middleweight ladder. So that's smart of him to get a ground game. He won't really need that here because I don't think Curtis is going to try and grapple with him if he can even get to him. But still good to have it on your back pocket. Outside of that, there's not very much to say about Kopylov. He's a really good striker. His ground game's getting better, and he's fighting Chris Curtis, which is a free win if I've ever seen one. So, yeah, not really much else to say. Kopylov's back to begin the year with another W. I I believe that, what fight was it that he opened? It was the Punahele fight 2 years ago. So he's 1-0 on the first card of the year. Let's see if he can go to 2-0. The back after fight have Kopylov 265 to plus 210. Yeah, you could have Kopylov minus 280, 290. He should win pretty easily. The only worry is if Curtis goes full fucking grappler mode, which I doubt. I see this being just like the Jack Hermanson fight, where Kopylov just stays on the outside and wins pretty easily. He's just a better fighter. In a perfect world, he kicks Curtis's fucking head into orbit, but that'd be a perfect world. So, yeah, more likely Kopylov fights at range and wins a pretty easy 30-27. A knockout is possible on either side. Curtis could knock him out, Kopylov could knock him out. Either one could get flatlined, but more than likely, it stays on his feet and Kopylov wins a decision. So, give me Roman Kopylov by decision. How is this not a co-main event? I don't know. Either way, decent fight. Very good fight, actually. And give me Roman Kopylov by decision. Curtis is hard to finish, so should be a decision. 3 down, 3 to go on the main card. And our next one, I'm not going to have to say a lot because we know this is not going to go long. As in our fourth fight of the main card, staying in the middleweight division, we have a banger, if it goes the way it should, between Abdul Razak Al Hassan, Judo Thunder, somewhere in there, versus Cesar Sismina Almeida. Yeah, someone's getting knocked the fuck out. I don't think I need to explain that, but yes, someone's getting knocked out. Abdul Razak Al Hassan in a fight, it might not go long. And Cesar Almeida not fighting a grappler, so he's gonna get to strike. This is not gonna go long. Someone's getting put to sleep. Who's it gonna be? I'm leaning the underdog here. And no, I'm not gonna go in depth on these two. Abdul Razak Al Hassan hits really hard. Cesar Almeida is a really good kickboxer. Do I need to say anything more? No. I'm leaning the underdog here. I don't think these odds should be as wide as they are. They should definitely be closer to a pick'em. If Abdul connects, Cesar is going down. If the fight goes longer, I could see Cesar just staying at range and winning a kickboxing match. But if this fight ends early, who's won. So, and I'm not even going to factor in the grappling. I don't think that's going to be needed. And to be honest, I think Abdul's a better grappler. So, we'll see if that's true. Hopefully we won't need to see that, because no one wants to see that boring garbage that should be banned. We want to see two dudes fight. And that's what we're probably going to get here, is two dudes swanging and banging till someone goes out cold. And who do I think is going to be the one taking a nap? I'm going to say Cesar gets put out. I'm going to go Abdul Razak Al Hassan by knockout in the first. I think he's better. I know he's 39 years old, but he got robbed of a win against Cody Brundage, and he still has that death touch. And Cesar is kind of a fucking made matchup for him, a kickboxer. Who's going to strike with him? That just screams you're getting knocked the fuck out. Give me Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Maybe his age is bad. Maybe this is a bad pick. But I'm leaning the underdog here. I don't think Cesar's that good. And I don't think that old chin can take a big punch. So, give me Abdul Razak Al Hassan by knockout in the first. Has Cesar ever been knocked out? Obviously not in MMA, but in kickboxing. No, he did fight Pierre 3 times and never got knocked out, so I'll give him that much, but that's kickboxing. And that's Alex Pereira. This is Abdul Razak Al Hassan. If he touches your chin, you're dead. Give me Abdul Razak Al Hassan by knockout in the first. Not confident, because it is Abdul Razak Al Hassan, a guy legendarily known for fucking up fights that he should win. But as of right now, I'm going to go Abdul by knockout in the first. Does that age bad? We'll see. But that's what I'm going to lean with, so let's do it. Abdul by knockout in the first. But if Abdul is the one getting knocked out, I'm okay with it, because someone's getting knocked out. That's all I care about. So, Yeah. After that, we enter our co-main event of the evening. Why is this the co-main event? Yeah, this is a terrible co-main event. Like, maybe 5 years ago would have been good. Like, I don't get why this is the co-main event over Blades, or, over Kopylov and Curtis. So, hell, Ogden Moisés is a better co-main event. Like, what the fuck is this garbage? Whatever. As in our co-main event of the evening, our first co-main of 2024 or 2025, in the welterweight division, we have some old motherfuckers, as we have Santiago, Argentinian Dagger, Ponzinibbio, versus Carlston Macabike Harris. Well, again, why is this the co-main? They're 38 and 37 respectively. Like, these two should not be co-main. These guys this should be in PFO. Like, the fuck. Ponzi should be retired, and Harris, is debatable how much he has left, so. Terrible co-main event. Terrible. But I'll talk about it real quick. I don't have a lot to say, because I don't think this is a good fight, but I'll also talk about it real quick. We'll start with the Dagger, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ponzi in the UFC is 11-7. Not gonna go down his whole UFC career, but I'll go down since he came back. Since coming back in 2021, he has went 2-5. He beat Miguel Baeza and Alex Morono. He has lost to Li Jingliang, Geoff Neal, Michelle Pereira, Kevin Holland, and Muslim Salikov. He's not the same guy. He's not the Ponzi we knew before he came back. That guy was a top contender. The guy we see now is old, not as good as he was, but very chinny, old, slow, hittable, beatable. Like, he's not losing to bad fighters, don't get me wrong, but, like, he's just not looking good. Like, the prime Ponzi would kill Kevin Holland with some Salikov, and now he can't even fucking win a round against them, so I don't know. I feel bad for Ponzi because he had his prime stripped away from him, but it happens, man. It happens, and sadly, it looks like it's the end of the road for Ponzi. If he loses this, it's really over. I think it's already over, but if he loses this, you either cut him or he retires. So, if he does retire either way, hopefully he goes out on a win, but more than likely he's going out on an L, so sorry Ponzi, but your time is up. Not like Carlston Harris is a young prospect anyway, this guy's old as fuck as well, so at 37 years old. So to talk about his older, somehow as old opponent, Carlston Harris, who is only 4-2 in the UFC, his 4 wins being Christian Aguilera, Impa Kasanganay, Jared Gooden, and Jeremiah Wells. His 2 losses being Shavkat Rakhmonov and Chaos Williams. Harris showed a lot of potential at first in the UFC in both his winning streaks against Aguilera and Impa, and then against Gooden and Jeremiah. But he's just not. Every time he's had to step up in competition, he's lost. Like, against Shavkat's understandable, but against Chaos, a guy who I thought he could beat, he loses. Against Jeremiah Wells, he was down 2-0 going into that 3rd round, so he's just not shown the ability to beat the better fighters in the division. Yeah, you can beat Impa Kasanganay and Jared Gooden, who are garbage cans, but you can't beat Jeremiah and Chaos, so I get it, but it's also like, eh. And again, a guy who's shown talent, like Carlston has, so I don't know, it's... Did he get to the UFC too late? It seems like it. It seems like he just got to the UFC late. Like, already in the UFC debut, he was like 35, I believe. Yeah, he's already 33 when he debuted, and now he's fucking 38, so... Time flies, man, and it looks like time's passing Carlston by, so... Maybe he can get this last W and then dip, but more likely he might go out on an L too. Not in this fight, but he'll probably lose his last fight when that happens as well. So We'll see, though. And he's come back pretty quick after a knockout. 7 months at his age, and I don't know how smart that is, but, what do I know? The Bangouts first fight are pretty much a pick'em, at least when Tapology updated them. I believe now Carlston is the underdog, which I think is crazy. I think Ponzi's like minus 140. I don't know how. I don't know how you can see Ponzi's last fights and say, oh yeah, he should win this. Like, I get Carlston just got knocked out, and I get Harris is not that great of a fighter to begin with. Dude, Ponzi can't fucking go anymore. He's slow, he's stiff, he's hittable, he's chinny. I'm going Harris. He should win this fight. He's the better fighter in 2025. So, give me Carlston Harris by decision. I don't think we get a finish here. It's possible, because these two are not the strongest when it comes to chin strengths. But I just see a boring old man decision. So, maybe even some grappling in there, because Carlston is better on the ground. So, we'll see. I'm going Carlston Harris by decision. He should win this fight. He's just better than Ponzi at this point, which is sad to say, but I'm going Harris. Sorry, Ponzi, I think you lose another old guy battle back-to-back after losing to Solecki. And, yeah, I'm going Carlston Harris by decision. Maybe a finish is possible, but I'm going to say we get 15 minutes of old dudes. So, yeah. Not very much I would say. Give me Carlston Harris by decision. And now, time for our lame event of the evening. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. Our first main event in 2025 is a fucking pathetic joke, as we have the rematch no one cared about, asked for, or wanted. Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas 2. Who gives a fuck? There's nothing important about this fight. They both suck. They're both just good looking. They can't fight. Dern's a joke. Can't fight for shit. Has never gotten better. Just a grappler. Ribas somehow maybe got worse as a fighter, and is coming off one of the worst main events of 2024 against Bruno and Younes. How the fuck is this main event? I don't care that they fought 10 years ago. That fight probably sucked as well. These two are not good. And again, this fight means fucking nothing. Dern's ranked 6, and Ribas is ranked like 8th. And we know these two are not the level to be top contenders because we've seen them lose to top contenders numerous times. So, there's literally no point to this. No one wants this fight. No one cares about this fight. No one, if this is the co-main to a real main event, it's still stupid, but fine. When it was a co-main to Buckley Covington, or that's what it was meant to be, cool. As a main event for 5 rounds, because you know it's going to go 5 rounds, this is fucking stupid. If there is a finish, it's going to be a Mackenzie Dern submission, which who cares? And the annoying thing is, if Dern wins, especially by submission, oh, Dern 3.0, just for to get smashed by fucking Yan Xiaonan. And if Ribas wins, we don't even know what fucking weight class she fights at. So, it's a lose-lose no matter what. It's just a waste of fucking time. Kopylov Curtis is a better main event. At least I care more. This is just a waste of time and garbage. Fuck this fight. I don't care to watch them fight. I don't care about their first fight. I don't care about their second fight. I'll go Ribas because I don't care. Fuck Mackenzie Dern. I at least respect Ribas more than I respect Dern, since Dern's literally only in the UFC at this point. She's literally only ranked because she's hot. Outside that, Dern is not a fighter. She's a shitty grappler. Can't strike, can't wrestle. She's just a grappler. And then Ribas can't fucking fight half the time. That Rose fight was one of the most pathetic performances I've ever fucking seen. So, I don't know. This fight's a waste of fucking time. Literally, you couldn't find a better main event. Fuck, do a fucking number 14 versus an unranked dude. I don't care who it is. Just fucking do anything better than this. Fucking Jillian Robertson deserves this fight more. At least, if this was Jillian Robertson and Mackenzie Dern, I would respect it more. Because at least that fight makes sense. At least Robertson's a real contender, maybe. These two are not gonna do shit. They've never done shit. They're only getting older. So, It's fucking stupid, and it's and I don't mind if it's a woman fan, but I am not stupid like you fucks. If this fight mattered or was good, cool, fine. It's meaningless. It's stupid. If this was fucking Lamo Shan, Yan Xiaonan, it'd be better. Because at least those two are high contenders. I don't give a fuck about these two mid-contenders who we know aren't gonna ever be real contenders. So, I don't care. I don't fucking care. Give me Hibas by decision, I guess. I don't give a fuck. They both suck. Fuck the UFC for enough Mackenzie Dern main events. And Amanda Hibas main events. They both suck. Enough. Finally, boom. That's the card to go over my picks one more time. I think I'm losing my voice. Nurullo Aliev by decision. Fatima Kline by decision. Probably gonna go Magomed Gadzhiyasulov by decision. I have no idea who I'm going with in this fight still. Jacobe Smith by decision. Trey Ogden by decision. Tulio by knockout in the first. Jose Johnson, my lock is Knight by decision. Uros Medic by knockout in the first. Hopefully, that's the only one out of the three that's actually biased. I don't think Uros is gonna win. Austin Bashi by decision. Roman Kabilov by decision. Abdul Razak Al Hassan by knockout in the first. Carlson Harris by decision. And Amanda Hibas by decision. Bang. Yeah, not many biased picks. Only ones that I would actually call biased are Uros and Hibas. I think Austin and Kabilov will actually win. If I was making non-biased picks, I'm gonna pick Puna, and I only know who I'd pick for this fight unbiasedly. So, yeah. But outside of that, I wouldn't make any other biased picks, but just two. So, and they might win, so you never know. So, yeah, that's UFC Vegas 101. What a way to start the year. The prelims are decent. The main card, I like Bashi and Kabilov, and Abdul could be a fun fight. Uros could be fun if he knocks the dude out. It's a card. Again, you see my point though? It's just a bunch of fucking prelims. So, outside of Kabilov Curtis, what fight here is a main card fight? I don't see any. So, I want nothing more than this card to do way better than it should. I want fucking 7 knockouts, 2 submissions, or something along those lines, but just not gonna happen. We're gonna get fucking 12 decisions, a random submission in there, and maybe 1 TKO. It's fuck, man. Fuck. So, 14 fights done. I lost my voice. I went on for an hour and a half, and this card sucks. It's good to be back, y'all. It's good to be back. Outside of that, not really much else to say. I'm not looking forward to this card at all, but, your fights are back. That's all that matters. And I'm not looking forward to recapping this card on Sunday, which is what I will be doing. You'll hear that video will be going up sometime on Sunday. Recap for this garbage. I guarantee you I'm going to be in a great mood. Yeah, whatever. UFC Vegas 101 breakdown done. I'll see you for the recap on Sunday. And, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, because I know my voice didn't, and my brain didn't, trying to fucking think of these fights, so, great. Other than that, I'll stop wasting your time rambling on, and I'll get to that, because I'm tired of looking at this poster and card as much as you are. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs go by the end of 2025, and unless I'm forgetting to say something, thank you for watching, and as always, RX out. Good vibes only, and always. It's good to be back.